All right, welcome to Falcon Blues TV, and I'm delighted to be joined by Adam Logan from We Are the Famous EFC YouTube channel. Adam, nice one for joining us, mate. How are you doing? You okay?
Yeah, I'm doing sound. Thanks for having me on, Dave.
Our pleasure, mate. And I've been on Adam's channel a few times, so I thought it was only fair that I reciprocate and invite Adam on. So what I want you all to do, if you follow Falcon Blues TV, there'll be a link in the description for you to go and follow Adam's channel. So make sure you do it. Let's get Adam to as many followers as we can before Christmas. Just like we want to get to 5,000 followers at Christmas, we want to get Adam. Let's get Adam to 1,000 by Christmas, eh? Let's do that. But Adam, we're at the final season at Goodison Park, mate. I never thought in my lifetime that I would see this. You know, I've seen stadium decisions and stadium bids and all these leaflets of like, oh, this is how new stadium's gonna look, all these proposals and stuff like that. And I thought, nah, never going to happen. But here we are, mate, in the final season of Goodison. 19 league games to go. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's going to be an emotional time, as it's going to be the last day at Goodison. But I just hope that we start the season really strong, really positive, get the best atmosphere like it was in a couple of months ago when we were fighting relegation. Scrap all that, but let's bring the atmosphere during this what's going to be a really sad time at the football club for many Evertonians, even the ones who's been round since it was built on that. And it's going to be a real sad, but make memories.
Yeah. Do you think the new signings will help towards the confidence and the feel good factor around Goodison?
Yeah, the likes of Ndiaye, Iliman Ndiaye, and that Tim, who was really, really good in midfield to see in the Roma game, as I told you, and even Lindstrom, starting them, that'll be amazing. I think Dyche needs to look in starting Ndiaye, especially the way he's driving through and cutting all of the defence open and just driving through because he's an attacker. So for me, that's what's going to build us a great future and players like that.
Are you excited? I know you mentioned Iliman Ndiaye there about being one of the ones that you look for, but the signings that we've made, we've gone about it the right way and we've made the signings early. Were you excited about that? Like, rather than leaving it to blind day again?
Yeah, I was really excited, especially when we signed Jesper Lindstrom and that Jake O'Brien, because he's about 6 foot something bigger than Jared Bramford, bigger than anyone in the Premier League. But I was wondering at first, where's this money come from? Until I read it was the damn freaking grid, because at first I was unsure if we were going to breach more charges and we get another point deduction. But when I looked properly, I was made up. That Kevin Thirlwell and Sean Dyche reboost the squad. So I was really made up to see that we finally made some decent signings after, because we haven't had a proper, in fact, we haven't had a transfer window since Frank Lampard was appointed as Everton manager. So it was really nice to see.
That's it. I mean, I know a lot of the signings from Lampard came off the back of Richarlison going, but then this one came off the back of Amadou Onana going. So I think we've invested well. I think bringing in 4 or 5 players in for the money that we spent on getting Onana out of the door to Aston Villa. What do you think of Sean? How do you think Sean Dyche is going to set up for the season? Then do you think he's going to be, with the players he's now got, do you think he's going to be a little bit more attack minded, or do you still think he's going to be pragmatic and defensive and not change much?
I think he'll start really decent, and then through the season he'll want to win as many games as he can before the end of the season. So I think between now and to the end of the season, he'll be very strong. And his choosing wise, his subs and his starting lines up, because as we've said, he'll definitely want to finish this season very, very strong on a high, as it's the last era at Goodison. And for me, that's the right attitude to go about it, is to start bright and end on a bright too, because, you know, we've been over recent months for the last 2-3 years fighting relegation. So us fans and Sean Dyche and the players, we all deserve to get shout about something, and that is finishing on a high at Goodison.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, between 10th and 6th, I'd like to finish the season on really, really high. Whether we do or that, I don't know, but that's what I would like to happen. And for Sean Dyche to take us going into Bramley more, let's not sack him. I want to stick with him. I want him to have the right attitude, the right mindset going into the game, and he can take us going into that brand new stadium, into a new chapter of Everton Football Club. So for me, he's got to have the right attitude.
Yeah, I think he has. I think when we look back at last season, I know we had a tough few months there between the points deduction and basically February, wasn't it? We went that far without a win, but I think he knew that. Even he knew that you know, he wasn't in trouble, but he knew he had to get out of it. And I think the start that we had last season was better than people actually make out, you know, and that's why we were able to, you know, we got the points deduction, but we were okay. We got the second points deduction, we were still all right, really. You know, we bounced back, came back strong from those pitfalls. So for me, I think, you know, he deserves a third chance, you know, at being the manager of this club. I think it's probably someone we should have got in probably before Frank Lampard. But obviously we were all clamouring for Frank Lampard, given his time at Derby County and things like that. So So you're thinking of it between 10th and 6th. I mean, that's a big ask for us, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. I think there is an opportunity there for us to be within, at least for me, 12th to maybe 8th, being more realistic. For me, that's not me. Sorry, I'm not trying to put you down there, but that's me being an Evertonian. I think I'm just basically saying I think anywhere between 12th and 8th is a great season for us. But I want silverware. I want the final season of Goodison, and I want the FA Cup, and I want a League Cup this year. And we've drawn another tie against Doncaster, which is near enough the same period as last season. Beto scores 2. Horrible first half of Doncaster. The absolutely worst game I've ever seen in a long time. But I think, you know, I like that we've been given a nice, easy. I'd say easy. It probably won't be very easy, but a nice run in, a nice little as you start. You know, get your feet in the game and get yourself into the next round. But I think what we're looking at here now, we're looking at Brighton on Saturday, and we spoke on your channel just before, Adam. It's no easy task for Everton. Brighton are an exceptionally good side, but I think Everton can get at them like we have in many of the games that we played against them, not just under Sean Dyche, but you know, in games at Goodison Park and things like that. We've always played well against Brighton. What do you think for the weekend?
I think we're going to start really, really strong. Dyche is going to choose the right team. The tactics, he's got to get that right, and I can see that. And I can see us winning this 3-0 because I can see Ndai getting right at them, and also just building the storm also, and the likes of how tall Jake O'Brien is, 6 foot. So I think he can head to them if we get corners and that. He'll be able to jump right through and hopefully head it into the back of the net. And whether it's Park End or Gladys Street, either end.
I prefer the Gladys Street because that's where we are, mate. So
yeah.
Just lastly then, just with as we're talking about goals and things like that. What are your thoughts on Calvert-Lewin? I mean, do you think that he's still stalling on a new deal, or do you think he's likely to sign it before the end of the transfer window? Second, would you keep him? Would you be starting him? because it's a conversation for everyone's asking these questions about Calvert-Lewin now, and I think he's got to answer a lot of the questions too.
Yeah. Firstly, I wouldn't bother offering him a new deal.
Mm-hmm.
And the second one, I'd let him leave because he's had so many chances now under Lampard, Dyche, and that. And if he's going to keep getting injured, by my calculations, he's not even bothered how he's being, because during pre-season as well, the way he gets the ball, he doesn't even share, he just takes it and misses. Then laughs or just looks like, why are you looking at me like that? So
yeah,
I think it's a load of crap. And I don't think that he's got the right attitude to be in that kit on the pitch.
I mean, personally, I prefer my strikers to be greedy as possible. But I get what you're saying about Calvert-Lewin. He's got to get in the goals, and I think he's got to get people. He's got to get people in people's good books again. I think he's got, I think the way the whole contract thing's being handled has been poor by the club, and I think there just needs to be there needs to be something now that says he's either staying or he's gone by the end of the transfer window, by the end of this month. But I think we'll wait and see on that though, Adam. But you said
the reason I'm saying that is because he's not big and he's not like better, like get off me and all that and just run up and down. He needs to be like that. He needs the attitude. He needs to infuse the stuck, and also man up and that in front of people. Don't like he's for me. He's done it with Richarlison a couple of times where he just falls to the floor too much, or he's because instead of staying on his feet, he's fallen down well too much as well and trying to get a penalty, and it's not, of course, it's not going to go our way.
Yeah,
really, if he's throwing himself, and that for me.
I think when it's not going your way as a striker, you start taking that opportunity and you start doing those kind of things that and sometimes.
If I had my way, I'd get Richarlison back on loan. If I had my way,
I think that's the fans' wish for the end of the transfer window. To be honest with you, obviously we were going in for Calvin Phillips, so any money that we've got that we can, I agree. I'd be looking at Richarlison myself. Okay, but we'll wrap this up then, because you've said 3-0, and I'm going to go for 2-1 because I think it's still going to be a really tough game. So, as we said, it's the final season at Goodison Park. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now. What does Goodison Park mean to you and Everton mean to you? This is something I've asked people when we've done this, and it's like, well, what does Everton mean to you? What does being at Goodison Park mean to you, especially as we're moving on to Bramley Moore in the next 12 months?
Okay, Goodison Park means to me everything, my whole life. The fans, also the players, Sean Dyche, in fact, even though I've criticised him over last season, but it means the world to me. I would literally die for Everton Football Club. I love it so much, and it's got great memories. And I remember going to my first ever Everton game at Goodison Park when I was younger. David Moyes was the manager, and I remember when we got up into about 7th or 6th it was, and we won. A team, I can't remember who it was, but I'll never forget that day, and we all went on the fans at Goodison Park. So that's what Goodison means to me, literally the whole world. Then the players, the fight, the passion, and why we go to Goodison and why we watch the fans.
Yeah,
it's like when we beat Liverpool, that is why we always back the team, because they will perform and they'll show fight, the passion like they did against Liverpool when they lost the league at Goodison Park. That as well. So
That's all you can say, isn't it? It's your club. It just means everything. There's sometimes you can't even put it into words what the club means to you. But I'm glad you've been able to do that. I really appreciate it. So we'll finish this up now. And Adam, thank you so much for joining me. As I said at the start of this video, you're welcome, mate. As I said at the start of this video, if you are following Falcon Blues TV, click on the link in the description to follow Adam's channel. We are the Famous EFC. Let's get as many followers and subscribers as we can on this channel as well. Adam, brilliant to talk to you, mate. Thank you so much for joining me.
You too. Thanks, Dave.
And we'll catch up soon. Up the fucking toffees, Colin Chong. See you in a bit.
In a bit.
That